right, Cypher. Thank you for having me. This is an honor. I'm not joking. I did not know we are gonna be doing this in your stream room. So thank you.
It's a pretty cool stream room. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, of course, man. And we took over, but I promise you, we'll put it all back. Put it all back together.
You can leave some of the stuff here. I could use some of the stuff.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to sit with you and talk. Spoke to you a few times on text and DMs, but I have to say this building is amazing, and I think we'll put some B-roll and stuff over. Dude, I came out, I saw your parking spot with your logo. I'm like, that's sick. I walk in, I was like, dude, this is awesome. So congratulations.
Thank you.
This is really, really cool, and I'm glad I came out for this. So thank you. So I like to start off this basically kind of asking about you as a person. Obviously, a lot of people follow your content. You know, you're streaming live almost every day, content everywhere. Every time I open my TikTok, my YouTube, you're there, right? But you know, I'm sure you talk on stream a little bit about yourself, but I want to talk about your background, where you come from, your childhood. You know, if your family was kind of well off or not. A lot of people have different stories, so if you don't mind.
So I'm, a first generation American. My parents both came from Jordan over here, originally from Palestine. You know, they worked really hard. My dad, he graduated from University of Texas. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and I have 3 younger brothers. So it was like we're all very similar in age. I'm the oldest, and we just grew up playing games, playing sports. I would say like we were, pretty like middle of the road kind of family in terms of income and just like our way of life. Parents really stressed, working hard, doing well in school. Being disciplined, and me and my brothers eventually discovered, video games. It was a discovery because before that we were just playing in our backyard, like getting all muddy and wrestling and stuff. And then one day we're on my dad's computer. We had the one like family computer, and we're just going through different websites trying to find something to do. We were literally playing Minesweeper. Like we didn't even know what was out there. And then we found some website. I think it was called Miniclip. It's like, it's OG. And eventually from there, like we found multiplayer games like RuneScape, and we were really, really into video games. And I was the oldest, so I really like spearheaded all of that for my brothers of trying to play video games, compete against each other, things like that. But it was all fun and games. My dad eventually got my first console, which was the PS2. And he realized we were really into playing on the computer, but he needed that computer for work, so he got us a console to keep us distracted, and started getting into the PlayStation and playing the single player titles. The original Spider-Man, Duke Nukem, and a few other like just random games. But that was my young childhood. I went to school. I tried to get good grades so I can play more video games and things like that. Played a little bit of sports. A lot of basketball, but early on I was also playing soccer. My family being Middle Eastern, my uncle literally played for the national Jordanian soccer team. So there was a little bit of that like soccer presence early on, but then we kind of shifted to basketball, especially as we started getting taller. Me and my brothers were all like 6'3" plus. So we had to take advantage of the height. We couldn't waste those genetics. So yeah, early on it was like sports and video games. But then like once I discovered multiplayer online games, like once I discovered RuneScape, really, I started seeing, videos on YouTube and people creating content. That was like my early introduction of content creation. It happened like early middle school. And honestly, like, just I used to actually just watch the Call of Duty montages and stuff. That's where I got my introduction into FaZe.
Really?
And people like actually making content for a living. I forgot who it was, but somebody was talking about like their first paycheck from YouTube from FaZe, and that stuck with me. I was like, wait, you can do this for a living? Like I'm playing video games for free. But yeah, that was my early childhood, like up until like my introduction to content creation. But I knew like early on that that's kind of something I wanted to do.
Okay, cool. That's dope. I didn't know you used to watch COD montages. Like
no, I was subbed to your channel, Rain, Temper. Like I watched a lot of the early FaZe days.
That's really cool.
So
that's awesome, man. I know one of the first times I spoke to you, you told me you're Palestinian because I'm Palestinian as well. It's really cool. I didn't know until you told me. Yeah. And right now you're the oldest of 4 boys. I'm the youngest of 4 boys. We got a little more similarities than I
Yeah,
thought.
for
But
sure,
I am
for
not
sure.
good at sports. That's the one thing.
Okay.
But-
Have you tried, or you just
Brother, I'm a foot shorter than you. You know, I'm not too coordinated either.
you got? I
so-
mean, if you're short, you got to be fast, right? So I don't know.
not fast, not
Okay.
fast, but you know, I've heard that you won the championship with the district championship in high school, right?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't all me. I'm not gonna like pretend like I was the all-star, but I was a role player, did my part well, played solid defense, got a lot of rebounds, and we ended up winning the district championship here in Austin for our school, and it was the first and last one. I was really into basketball. Like as soon as like I think I was in 6th or 7th grade, like I shot up to like 6 feet, but I was very uncoordinated because I went from like 5'4" to 6 feet in like a year.
Yeah.
Had a huge growth spurt. But at that moment, I was like, I got to play basketball. Like the height advantage is real, and I was really into it. What really like got me into it is at the time we were visiting family in San Antonio, and we were at a Costco or a Sam's Club, I don't remember, but Tim Duncan was there.
Really?
He was just shopping for groceries.
Oh,
People
no
were
way.
looking at him, like
Yeah.
trying to talk to him, and I saw like all the attention he was getting, and he was like 7'1", so I was like, whoa, like this guy's crazy tall. I'm like, look at it, everybody's looking at him, and so in that moment I was like, I want to be a basketball player. I want to be in the NBA.
Yeah.
Obviously, at some point, I was like, well, I'm a little bit better at making content. And, I ended up going against some NBA players.
Really?
Jarrett Allen.
Really? Okay.
He's on the Cavs
net?
now.
Oh, Cats.
Yeah,
Cavs.
he was on the Nets. So he's
Yeah.
on the Cavs. He dunked on me in high school.
Okay.
And I realized in that moment that the basketball was not full time.
Jared Allen dunked on it. That's what made you realize. So shout out Jared Allen.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, you know, you might
Bro,
have.
he
you might
was
have
crazy
chased
in
that.
high school.
Really?
He's still extremely great in the NBA, but he was just bullying everybody in high school. So
That's so funny. So you weren't actually trying to chase a professional career.
no, I was at like up until junior year or senior year. I was always doing. So I started making videos right in middle school. YouTube videos. I started with RuneScape, and there was like a constant battle of like 3 different things: basketball, video content creation, and then school. Because I was trying to be a straight A student. I was trying to like get scholarships and whatever. I was also trying to potentially play college ball, but at the same time, I wanted to be a YouTube star. So it was like those are the 3 like main things. And I think what helped me eventually succeed in YouTube was that I was able to maintain those 3 things up until I graduated. It wasn't like I just dropped something like off the table. Like I still played all 4 years of basketball. We won the district championship. I still did well in school. There was some hiccups like later on, junior, senior year where I was struggling with my, direction in life or what I wanted to do.
Yep.
But still finished that out well, and then was able to continue the content creation process from middle school until the end of high school. And after high school, I went full time. So I think it's important that I was able to do all 3 because it kind of made me well-rounded in a bunch of different aspects.
Yeah.
I was able to pull from everything and then direct that energy and focus and experience into just full-time content creation.
Yes, every experience you have, like when you look back in life, you realize how important certain parts of life were that you maybe didn't want to do at the time. You
Yeah.
didn't think it was important. That's dope. That's really cool. I had a kind of reverse situation. I was so into baseball. When I was younger, I was good at baseball. I was like an all-star in baseball. Then, got to high school, the field got bigger. I got cut from the high school team. Well, I didn't get cut. I didn't make the high school team. And then like 2 months later, I joined FaZe. So
Gotcha.
shout out to that coach that didn't let me on the team.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. But that's really cool. I mean, if you won a state championship, at least you got that. That must have been because I look back at the baseball days. It's
Not
Little
state
League.
champion, district championship.
Oh, district. Okay.
We weren't good enough for state.
Okay.
That's a whole other ball game. But we
Okay.
won the district championship, so
Okay.
we'll take that